The ocean holds mysteries deeper than we can imagine, and exotic wildlife often shows us the power of survival, courage, and connection. Today, we're diving into 7 real stories of marine and exotic animals that left millions amazed. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a like so more ocean lovers can find it. Trust me, you won't want to miss the incredible stories we've got coming up. Story 1. The whale that said thank you. It was just another day for a group of divers off the coast of California. Until they saw her. A massive humpback whale, one of the largest animals on the planet, was completely tangled in fishing nets. She was struggling to swim, slowly suffocating. The divers knew that if they didn't act fast, she would die. For hours, they carefully cut away the ropes, each moment dangerous. One wrong move and the whale could panic, knocking them unconscious with a single slap of her tail. But somehow, she seemed to understand they were helping. She stayed calm, allowing them to work. Finally, after what felt like forever, the last rope fell away. The whale was free, and that's when something unbelievable happened. Instead of disappearing into the deep, she lingered. She breached the surface again and again, slapping her fins against the water, almost like applause. Divers described it as her way of saying thank you. The footage went viral, touching millions of hearts. Science may argue about whether animals feel gratitude, but in that moment, nobody could deny what they saw. Gratitude knows no limits, not even between species. Story 2. The octopus that returned the favor. Our next story comes from South Korea, where a fisherman spotted something unusual near his boat, an octopus caught in a discarded fishing net. Now, octopuses are masters of escape, famous for squeezing through impossibly small spaces, but this one was truly stuck. Without hesitation, the man freed the creature and released it back into the sea. Most people would expect that to be the end of the story. But the next morning, something astonishing happened. The same octopus appeared again near his boat. This time, it wasn't trapped. It wasn't running away. It swam directly toward him. For a brief moment, the animal even clung to his hand before slipping back into the water. Did the octopus return to say thank you? Some scientists argue it was just curiosity. Others believe octopuses, with their incredible intelligence, may be capable of emotions we don't fully understand. Either way, the encounter left people stunned, and it sparked a deeper conversation. How much do we really know about the minds of these mysterious, alien-like creatures of the deep? Story 3. The Baby Sea Turtle Army. On the beaches of Costa Rica, one of the most magical events in nature unfolds every year. Under the soft glow of the moon, tiny cracks appear in the sand. Then, one by one, baby sea turtles emerge. Hundreds of them. They're fragile, barely the size of a human palm. And yet, instinct drives them forward. They must make their way across the sand and into the waves before predators strike. But the journey is brutal. Birds swoop down. Crabs snatch at their tiny flippers. The crashing surf itself becomes an obstacle course. Most won't survive. Out of thousands of hatchlings, only a handful will live to adulthood. That's why conservationists step in. On this particular night, volunteers carefully guided the hatchlings to the sea, cheering as each one entered the water. Videos of the event spread online, watched by millions around the world. For just a moment, people were reminded of something important: that life is fragile, survival is a miracle, and that even the smallest creatures fight incredible battles to live. Story 4. The penguin who refused to forget. This story almost sounds like a fairy tale, but it's true. In Brazil, a fisherman found a penguin covered in oil, close to death. He cleaned the bird, fed it, and after weeks of care, released it back into the wild. Most people would assume the penguin would disappear forever. But months later, something unbelievable happened. The penguin returned. Not only did it come back once, it began visiting the fishermen every single year. Scientists were baffled. Penguins are not known for migrating to visit humans, especially across hundreds of miles of ocean. And yet, this bird seemed to defy the rules of nature. Each reunion was captured on camera. The penguin waddles up. The fisherman greets him like an old friend. And together, they prove something profound. Friendship knows no borders, not even between man and penguin. Millions around the world have watched their story. And each time, the message is the same. Kindness is never forgotten. Story 5. The manta ray that asked for help. Off the coast of Western Australia's Ningaloo Reef, divers experienced one of the most extraordinary encounters ever recorded. A massive manta ray, with a wingspan wider than a car, swam directly toward them. At first, the divers thought she was simply curious. But then they noticed something heartbreaking. Fishing hooks lodged near her eye. And here's where it gets unbelievable. Instead of fleeing, the manta ray hovered perfectly still, almost as if she was asking for help. One diver gently reached out and began removing the hooks. The manta remained motionless, trusting these strangers with her life. Finally, freed from the painful metal, she glided gracefully into the deep, but not before circling back, almost as if to acknowledge the divers. The story spread quickly across the world, reminding us that sometimes animals know far more about trust and communication than we give them credit for. Story 6. The sloth's slow return. Now, let's leave the ocean briefly and travel into the lush jungles of Costa Rica. There, a young sloth was spotted stranded on a busy road. Cars swerved around him, but his slow movements put him in constant danger. Rescuers stepped in, gently picking him up and giving him a quick health check. Then came the best part. They carried him back to the forest and placed him on a tree. What happened next was captured on video. A slow, steady climb as the sloth returned home. Millions of viewers around the world couldn't help but smile as they watched this little creature take his time. Every movement deliberate, every step a symbol of resilience. It was a reminder that not all heroes are fast or strong. Sometimes, survival is about patience, persistence, and simply never giving up. Story 7. The dolphins who became guardians. Our final story comes from the waters off New Zealand. A group of swimmers was enjoying the ocean when suddenly a pod of dolphins appeared. At first, the swimmers thought it was a lucky encounter. But then something strange happened. The dolphins began circling tightly around the group, refusing to leave. For nearly 40 minutes, they swam in formation, keeping the humans surrounded. Confused, the swimmers didn't know what was happening, until a lifeguard spotted something terrifying nearby: a great white shark. The dolphins had formed a living shield, protecting the humans from danger. For those swimmers, it was an unforgettable moment. And for millions who later heard the story, it was undeniable proof that sometimes the ocean's greatest predators are also its most powerful protectors. From whales that seem to show gratitude, to penguins who never forget, to dolphins who act as guardians, these stories reveal something extraordinary. They remind us that the natural world is not separate from us, It's connected to us. That survival, courage, trust, and even friendship aren't just human qualities. They belong to life itself. If you enjoyed these stories, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more amazing wildlife moments every week. And hey, drop a comment below and let me know which story amazed you the most. Until next time, keep exploring the wonders of our planet.